Hey, what's up, everybody? It's TR with Earth Angel Mushrooms. Wanted to give an update on my oyster mushrooms this week. So in my last video, you saw these just pinning. Now they're closing in on the finish line, so they're going to get like 25 or 30% bigger than what they are there. Wanted to go over how I fruit oyster mushrooms. So I colonize in the low 70s. Try to keep lots of airflow. Since I do 10-pound bags, they're going to generate a lot of heat on sawdust and soybean hulls. So pinning them, let me just show you how awesome they're looking. Looking really good this week. So these 3 rows I brought in, let's see what date, 2/22. I keep it pretty cool in here so I don't have to pay for heat, and that's why it takes a little bit longer for them to pin, but that's all right because they grow amazingly in these cooler temperatures. So all last week I kept my temp at it was like 50 or 49. I just don't want to pay for the heat. So if they'll grow, which they will, I'll keep it as cold as I possibly can, within reason. So, pinning, or let me rewind. So, colonization, we want low 70s and lots of airflow, so that airflow is going to dissipate the heat off of the bags. You don't want them to touch. You want to give them plenty of space in there, and that'll dissipate the heat as the airflow goes through the rows. So then between 2 and 3 weeks, I bring them into the grow room. In the grow room, you want that massive temperature drop, which will trigger them into fruiting. So low 70s, and then over here, it was low 50s, or even in the high 40s last week. But typically, like in the summertime, I'll keep it as cool as I can, and low 60s. If I can keep it in the high 50s, I absolutely will. So the lower you can keep your temperature, the less contam you're going to have to deal with. So bacteria doesn't like to grow when it's super cool in here, and kings will be the ones to expose you on that. Kings are the worst with bacteria, and but oysters. So you want that big temperature drop from colonization to the grow room, and to get them to pin like this, you want to have your humidity pegged. If you can keep it as high as 100% for the first few days until you start seeing those pins, that's exactly what you want. So when you cut that slice in the bag, so I do a big X, and you can see that they're upside down. Some people fruit them on their side. Either way, I just find that fruiting them upside down, I'm taking up less of my space on my shelf. As you can see, there is a gap there as well. So I let airflow go through there, helps dissipate the CO2. I've done it to where I put just one massive row, and they get too elongated. And they're even elongated compared to what I like them, but my AC is tapped out, the fan. So airflow, high humidity. So pinning, 100% if you can keep it there till the pins are formed, and then drop it down. A lot of people will drop it into the 80s or so. I don't like to keep it in the 80s. If I can keep it in the low 90s, that's what I do. I've found that I get better yields that way, so I put on more weight with the oyster mushrooms, and all the mushrooms for that matter. So I always keep it in the low 90s. I am at the mercy of growing 3 species in the same room, and kings will just give you fits if you decide that you want a lower humidity. Will oysters grow in lower humidities? Absolutely, they'll grow. Will you get pin sets like this? Absolutely, you will not. So you want humidity pegged out. Low temperatures will only help you. They generate better mushrooms, higher quality mushrooms, sturdier mushrooms. You get super dark caps, which I really like the darker caps, as opposed to lighter caps if you're growing blues. Another view down here. And as you go on the shelves lower, you can see that they're behind because it always stays cooler. My ducts the air goes out of the duct and it goes straight down on the floor and then swirls back through the middle aisle. So they always grow a little bit slower on that bottom shelf. But anyway, thought I'd give you guys an update on my oysters this week. They're rocking it out. If you guys are interested in growing these blocks, I do produce the blocks to sell. About 60% of my company is block sales. So typically it's to other mushroom growers that grow for a living, but I also do small quantities, so half case, 5 blocks, 10 blocks, 20 blocks, whatever you want. I have pricing structure for that. If it's a half case, they're $12.50 a piece. Full case, $12.50 a piece. You can contact me at earthangelmushrooms@gmail.com. My website is under construction. It should be up in about the next month or so. So you'll be able to go to earthangelmushrooms.com and I'll have pricing and all that stuff for the absolute best production blocks in the industry as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something about penning oysters. Have a good night and we'll talk to you later.